Hey, what's up, everybody? If you can hear me, just go ahead and let me know in the chat. I was having a little bit of trouble connecting, so I'm doing a little different thing today with streaming. I'm actually streaming in 4K instead of 1080p, so I'm wondering if that's the problem. But if you can hear me and you can see everything just fine, let me know. Thank you very much, Jamie. Welcome, Ike. Welcome, Gary. Welcome, Magnus. Thank you all for being here bright and early. Thank you, Ike. Same here, Jamie. Same here. What's up, Dennis? Thank you for showing up. Dennis, can you hear me and see me just fine? Welcome, Ted. Awesome. Thank you, Dennis. Good morning, Margaret. Thank you for making it. Everybody have a good holiday. What's everybody spending their money on for Cyber Monday? I've spent a lot myself already. Advertising? That's a smart answer. Good job, Gary. Welcome everybody who is just now coming in. We're going to be getting started here in about 5 minutes or so. I got started a little bit late because I was having trouble connecting. So hopefully everything goes okay. If something does break during the stream, I know what the problem is, and I'll make sure it won't break next time. Thank you, Margaret. Looks like there might be a delay too with the stream in the comments, just because I'm streaming in a little higher quality today. I'm curious if it's going to have any problems or if we're going to be good. Figure might as well put it to the test. everybody have on their schedule to work on this week? What's up, Sue? Thank you for being here. I was just asking what everybody has on their schedule to do this week. We're going to be getting started in about 3 minutes. What's up, David? Thank you. Black Friday checking. Oh, congratulations, Sue. What type of app and membership site? Welcome, Glenn. Gary, newsletter research. I love that. What type of research are you doing? I might be able to help you out. That's awesome, Sue. Congratulations on getting an app out there. I was in the app space for a while and it was difficult. Gary, that's super smart. It's a really smart idea. Congratulations, Sue. Feel free to drop the name of it and where people can get it. We can all take a look at it and check it out. I would check it out for my kids. All right, we're gonna be getting started in about 1 minute. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. That's a great idea. Sue, not a problem. And feel free to post the link and do a shout out for it in Alphapreneur.
Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh Christmas tree,
what's up, Adil? Thank you for making it. All right, looks like we are here at the top of the hour, so let me go ahead and just get over to my screen, and just to make sure you can all hear me and see me okay, if you can just let me know in the chat. If there also is a little bit of delay between me talking and my mouth moving, let me know, because I'm actually streaming in a much higher resolution today. I'm just want to try it out. It's a feature that is always possible on the platform that I'm using, but it's a combination of streaming on a higher stream, and I also upgraded my operating system to Big Sur, which is the new operating system for Apple. So all kinds of things that could go wrong, but we have to try it out and just see, because you don't know unless you try. So hopefully everything's going to go okay. And it's something weird too is I have a ring light behind my camera that I'm looking at, and my ring light was randomly going off earlier too. So all kinds of crazy things that might happen. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into today. And it looks like Jamie says, I appear to be in sync. Magnus is loud and clear. Glenn has a thumbs up. Sue can see me and hear me fine. Awesome. So thank you all again for being here. So just to jump right into today's agenda, this is going to be Alphapreneur meeting number 10. And I'm looking, I can see myself, and it does look like there's a little delay on my end, but it looks like it's okay for all of you. So hopefully we are good here. And then with my picture-in-picture that you can see on the screen, if my picture-in-picture ever does get out of delay and something doesn't look right, let me know, because then I can turn off my camera when I'm in picture like you see here. So this is Monday meeting number 10. We do these every Monday inside of Alphapreneur. And the agenda for today, we are going to talk about experiments. We're going to talk about testing. We're going to talk about scaling, and we're going to get into live Q&A. Now, this is probably going to be a shorter Monday meeting than usual, just because there's not a whole lot of depth to go in on these, but I just really I have a lot of things I want to share because I know just my journey of what I've been able to go through with experiments, I think will really enlighten a lot of you that are maybe working on a new idea, or maybe you're working on an existing idea and you just feel like every day you're just really, grinding it out and it feels like there's no end, and you really want results, but it's just taking you a while to get the results that you really want. So I was just looking at the word experiments. I thought I spelled it wrong, but it doesn't look like I did. Okay, so with experiments, I want to really start off by just talking about how you can really take action on your ideas so you can see what works. And what I mean by this is that a lot of you, myself included, probably have had some ideas in the past, and even maybe ideas right now. It's the type of ideas in your mind that just won't go away. Like you go to sleep thinking about them, you wake up in the morning thinking about them, you're in the shower thinking about them, and it's one of those ideas where you don't want to share it with anybody because you're afraid if you share it with someone, they're going to take it and run with it. And I have hundreds of those ideas, but fortunately, what I do, I've learned to just share and talk about them, and also take action on them if you want to take action. And if you're not really married to one specific business or experiment or business model that you're going through right now, you really need to take action on your ideas as well. So Sid, we're definitely not going to be talking about Black Friday or Cyber Monday. There are plenty of other people talking about that right now. Today, we're actually just getting right into the meeting for all of the Alphapreneurs. So, and again, if there's any problem with the delay or my audio or anything, let me know, because I can turn off my video, and then we can hopefully be a little more in sync. So with experiments, I want to, instead of just talking about experiments, I want to share kind of my journey on experiments that I've had. Now, when I talk about experiments, I'm referring to taking an idea, and whether it be starting a new business, growing your existing business, and just going all in on the idea and see if it works or not. And then once you go all in and see if it works, you're going to know really quickly if it's an experiment that is worth pursuing or an experiment that is not worth pursuing. So just to kind of go through everything that I've gone through. So I got my start. Some of you, this might be a kind of a recap because you've known me for a while, so you kind of know my story. For some of you that don't know anything about me at all, this is my story. And really my whole story of being an entrepreneur has just been this really crazy journey of just experiment after experiment after experiment. So I got my start online in 1999 as a brand ambassador. I was going to school for college for computer science, and I had a roommate that was he was always skipping classes. He was always in his room, always behind his computer. We had in a dorm room, we had our beds on both sides of his bed was on one wall, my bed was on the other wall, and he actually brought in cinder blocks, like concrete, really heavy, like 30-pound cinder blocks, and put his bed up on stilts on these cinder blocks so he could put his desk under his bed and be at his computer pretty much all day and all night. But he took his blanket and his comforter on his bed that was kind of like a bunk bed, but there was no bottom bunk. The bottom bunk was his desk, and he took his comforter and kind of draped it over. So he was almost made this like little, it's like a little cave. Like I could never see what he was doing on his computer, which was kind of interesting and kind of weird. So anyway, one day I didn't have a car when I was in college. So when I wanted to go to the store, I needed somebody to drive me because there was no way I could get to a store, and there was no buses or anything like that where our campus was. So one day I asked him, I said, it was 2 days after we moved in. I said, hey, do you mind, do you have a car? Do you mind if you could take me real quick to the store? Cause I need to grab some things. And he said, yeah, absolutely. Hey, let me finish something up and then we'll go out and check it out. And so we check out the store. So he finished some things up on his computer. We went out to the parking lot, and in the parking lot, everybody had one parking spot for their car. That's when you're at the dorm, you only have one parking spot, and every parking spot was full. But then when you get to the very back, there was like a couple just, pretty much where the parking lot's the end of the parking lot. There's no more parking spots left. You just kind of have to park on the grass. And there was this matching Corvette convertible was yellow with a matching H1 Hummer, and the H1 Hummer was parked in the grass behind the Corvette. And I was walking, but while we were walking to the cars, it's like, man, whose cars are those? He's like, which one do you want to take? And I just stopped in my tracks. And I was like, what do you mean, which one? These are yours? And he said, yeah, they're mine. I was like, oh man, it must be nice to have parents to buy you cars like that. He's like, oh no, my parents didn't buy these. I actually bought these for myself. And I was like, well, what do you do? What's your job? He's like, oh, I just do stuff on the internet. And I asked, I was like, well, what is it you do on the internet? And then that's where my whole world opened up to the internet. And basically what he did was he built all of these top 10 style blogs for a bunch of different industries like photography and computer games and even dating sites and things like that. And he basically just drove traffic to these blogs. And the only reason he was going to college was because his parents made him. So that's why he was in college, but he was skipping all of his classes and actually skipping all of his classes so he could build his blogs and spend time, making money on the internet. Derek, we're only about 9 minutes into this so far. So anyway, I asked him, I said, well, can I help you? Can you maybe show me like what you do? He's like, yeah, I could use some help. So I helped him out. I was kind of like his apprentice and like just doing all of his like slave work that he really needed with fixing lines of code and things like that. Cause we're both going to school for computer science. So we're kind of nerds like that. And so anyway, once I kind of learned the ropes, I went ahead and built my own first top 10 style blog. And what I did was I built it for computer games. And basically people that build custom computers, which is still popular today. You go online and you're looking for, all the different motherboards you can buy and different types of, there's all these different types of brands for RAM and things like that and processors. So anyway, I built a top 10 style blog for computer games. That was my first experiment and ended up doing really well. And then my next experiment was I went down the rabbit hole here. I'll kind of highlight what I'm like, where I'm at on this. So I went down the rabbit hole of marketing because once you have a blog, then you have to learn how to get traffic. If you build a blog or really any business at all, and you don't know how to get traffic, then it's just, you're dead in the water. You're not going to make any money. So he taught me some basics of getting traffic and kind of what he spent all of his time, how he was getting traffic. This was back in the America Online days when you actually had to like log into the internet through America Online and there's chat rooms and things like that. He was actually driving traffic to his blogs by just building these like bots that were going into chat rooms and just dropping links to his blogs, which was fine. I mean, that's all he did, but that's how I started. But then I realized there's way more to the internet than just doing that. So then I started learning all these different ways to really get traffic and buying every course, every product, every software that I could under the sun about getting traffic and marketing online. So I tested hundreds of different ways of getting traffic, and a few of them worked at the time. Most of them that I tested didn't work, but the whole thing with experiments is that you don't know it's going to work unless you try it. So whenever you hear me talk about some new idea or some new strategy, or like right now we're talking about social sharing, and we're talking about building contest funnels and things that you're about to see that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. There's a few things that work really well. So back then it's always been like this. Just only a few things really work well. Then there's like 20% to 20% of the stuff that you try is going to work really well. But then the 80% of the stuff is just stuff that it's going to get a little bit of traffic, but it's not going to get, a whole lot of traffic. So once I really figured out the things that worked really well at the time, then I created more top 10 style blogs in other industries. And these were other experiments. So I did really well with building a blog in computer parts and stuff for gamers. So I built top 10 style blogs in all kinds of different industries. And then, so anyway, that was from 1999 to about 2005, like end of 2005. So that's all I did was just a brand ambassador for a lot of different brands online. And I got really good at it. And I wanted to try to teach what I do to others because I started going to events at the end of 2003. And once I started going to events to kind of meet other people and learn the world of internet and marketing, and I started telling people what I was doing. They're like, oh, you should really teach this stuff to others. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really much of a teacher, or I don't want to be like in the spotlight. I don't want my name attached to anything. I much rather just be behind the scenes and behind the curtain and just do what I do and just do it quietly. So anyway, once I told this to enough people, they all started, everyone just kept coming to the conclusion, like, you really do need to teach this. There's a lot of people that could really benefit from this. So what I did was, at the time, instead of creating a course, like everyone else was doing, if I created a course to teach people about marketing strategies and being a brand ambassador back then, this was 2005, if I create a course, let's say in August, I would say by October, November, it'd already be outdated because the internet was just moving way too fast then. And it's even moving faster today. So instead of creating a course, I wanted to create a membership site, which no one did this back then. So instead of charging $97 one time for a course, I charged $97 a month to share strategies about marketing and how to really be a brand ambassador, on the internet. Again, this was 2005. And that one membership site, the first one, got to over 18,000 members. Again, this was at $97 a month. And so I realized, well, man, that experiment worked really, really well. So why not create more membership sites? So again, once something works really well, I tend to I think, okay, if it's working really well in the marketing space, why not create membership sites in other industries like self-help, personal development, weight loss, all kinds of as many industries as I can, dating, things like that. So I ended up creating 13 different membership sites in total across several different industries. And then I had a business partner that was actually doing the copywriting and writing the sales copy and kind of managing the books and everything for all of that, which I met at one of these conferences that I went to, which was actually one of the guys that told me I really need to get into doing this. So we ended up teaming up, and he handled that side of things, and I just handled the creating of the sites and actually teaching and all of that, doing pretty much what I'm doing right now. So what I did is he came to me once it was 2013. He asked me if we could just kind of exit the business. I'm like, exit the business? Like we've got so much going right now. We had all these experiments that ended up working and all these membership sites. And he's like, well, you know what? Why don't we just sell the whole entire portfolio of membership sites? Hey, what's up, Mike? Everybody say hi to Mike. Mike is a really good friend of mine. And this is actually a guy that when I go to events, he seems, you're like almost every event that I go to. So that's awesome. And thanks for showing up. I appreciate you taking the time to be here, Mike. So everybody say hello to Mike, and also Derek. Yes, I'm going to be answering questions here at the very end. So we sold our entire portfolio of membership sites in 2013. And then what we did then was went kind of our separate ways. We're, great friends even today. Like we're going to be on a Skype call tomorrow. We try to talk to each other every week and just kind of share ideas and what works and what doesn't work in the different industries that we're in right now. So I took a break from quote unquote helping people, because that's what I was doing with the membership sites. And then I experimented with new ideas, because again, with experimenting, you just always have an endless amount of ideas of things that you can do to start a new business or to get traffic to an existing business. So what I did was, with the new ideas that I had, I developed iPhone games. I had this whole game on the iPhone. It was like a collection of games called Boomy versus Pirates. It was kind of going against Angry Birds during its time. Then I built a health supplement company that I had this really unique idea for health supplements so I did that. Then I also had an idea for an energy drink. So I found formulators and manufacturers for an energy drink. That worked out really well. And then I created a podcast to talk about marketing. So even though I had all these different experiments that I wanted to go after and try, I didn't enjoy any of the experiments as much as I actually enjoy helping people. So what I did was I took all of those businesses and I put all of my businesses on pause to just get back to helping people. And ultimately, that is when I built alphapreneur.com, because I really not only just want to help people, but I want to help entrepreneurs specifically to really get results. So what I did was I really found my calling, and I'm going to keep doing this until I physically can't do this anymore. So hopefully I physically can do this for a long time, because I really enjoy it. But this is really, I love and think about this all day. So all the new ideas and experiments I ever come up with, it's all related to the world of Alphapreneur and how I can pass all of that down to all of you. So that is my kind of track record of experiments. And the reason, again, why I want to share this with all of you is because I wanted you all to really kind of see that, being an entrepreneur and ultimately an alphapreneur isn't really just all about building one business and going all in on one business. And then if that business doesn't work, you need to move on to something else. Like you need to get a job. It doesn't need to be like that. You can work on as many things as you want. And if you don't have one specific thing that you're really into right now, that's totally okay. What you can do is write down a list of all the different experiments that you want to try, and then just start going through and trying them. And what works, spend more time on. What doesn't work, just stop doing. And again, this works for business development, turning ideas into businesses, but then also ideas for getting traffic to your existing businesses. So, so is this making sense with everybody so far? Just let me know. And what we're going to do next is move on to the next item on the agenda, which is going to be testing. And I want to make sure everything is good to go, and the audio and the video is all still synced up. All right, I'm going to go through and take a look at the comments. Thank you so much, Jamie. It says fabulous story. Yeah, I don't share my story very much, and I probably should, just because I know it's really going to help more people the more that I share it. So I will kind of share my story here and there. Michael says, hey, Chris, good to see you, bud. Hope you're well. I am doing very well. Hope you're doing well as well. Liz, my keyboard just doesn't want to say Chris. It looks like you keep saying Christ. Hey, that's okay. David says, man, what a journey. Derek says, I would like to help people with 40 days without processed food system. That is awesome. And we can talk about that more too when we get in the live Q&A, because I have some ideas around that for you. Okay, so looks like everything is good to go. So that's my whole little rant about experiments. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is testing. And really, when I talk about testing, it's not about like running A/B split tests or anything like that, or multivariate tests on your website. It's testing in the sense of getting live feedback from real customers so you can get faster results. And I should update this. It's not necessarily live feedback from real customers, but live feedback from people so you can get faster results. So let's say, for instance, you have an idea for a business, or even an idea for getting traffic and marketing to your business. You should actually not just keep that idea to yourself, but you should actually tell as many people as you can about that idea. And then not only just tell as many people as you can, but tell people and then ask for feedback about what experiment and idea it is that you want to pursue. Again, whether it be about business or whether it be, about marketing. So with testing, if you don't have a place to do that, this is ultimately why, one of the whole fundamentals as to why I built Alphapreneur. Because there wasn't places you could go. There was no Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups or anything where I felt comfortable going and sharing my successes and my failures, and sharing my ideas with people where they can actually give me good quality, honest feedback. Because you didn't know who was a scammer, who was just like a troll, who was a lurker, who was the real deal, like when you're in public groups like that. So that's why I built Alphapreneurs so I could have a place to just, share all my ideas and things, the experiments that I want to test with everybody else, but then also have a place for all of you to be able to go to and share your ideas with everybody else. So actually, before I show you, how to talk about tests and things like that inside of Alphapreneur, I want to do a big shout out to James Weiss, because I saw when I just logged in here I'm logged in right now. But when I logged in today, it looks like James Weiss, which he's a direct response copywriter inside of Alphapreneur. He had some pretty big wins with a coaching client recently. He had a 70% order form conversion rate to cold traffic with a 69% order bump and a 36% one-time offer with an average cart value of $463. And he also had a 47% on a sales page conversion for a pre-order book funnel with an average cart value of $81, and an application funnel that made $145,000 in just 24 hours. So, James, your results so far are incredible. And he also said he cooked a turkey on the grill for Thanksgiving. The oven was full, and it was the juiciest white meat turkey he's ever had. So anyway, big, win for James. And thank you for sharing that with us, James. And this is a great example too of experiments that he was probably running, and when he's actually getting stats and conversions like this for something that's working, this is stuff you don't really necessarily want to share in a Facebook group, because you're going to get a lot of people that are going to really either really run you down or say negative stuff about the screenshot or about which you all have seen this if you've been in Facebook groups. People just don't say a lot of positive things. There's some people that will, but the majority of comments you're going to get when you do posts like this, in a public group, are not going to be good. So Alphapreneur, on the other hand, when you come in here and take a look at the comments and everything, you're going to see this is completely different. And that is, again, the whole reason why I built Alphapreneur and why I'm so excited, about this. So what I want to show everybody is with testing. So you can actually, when you do have big wins, you can share like James does. here in the Big Win section. But you can also, if you want to talk about experiments that you want to test in any of these other categories, that is why all these categories are here, is so you can, talk about your experiments and testing with creativity, with design, with, with innovation, with leadership, with marketing, whatever it is that you want to do. And if there's a category you want to be here that for a specific section and discussion group inside of Alphapreneur that is not here, just let me know and I'll go ahead and create this and put this in here for you. So yeah, Derek said, Derek, thank you. It's good that we have a place without scammers and trolls. And you'll notice there's not one post or one comment in Alphapreneur to date that has been like a trolling or a scammy type post in Alphapreneur. And if there was, we would have removed it and then kicked that person out indefinitely. But luckily, knock on wood, which I'm knocking on my desk right now, we have not had that. And Alphapreneur has been up for about a year now, which is incredible. So that is, yeah. So anyway, that's kind of my little blurb about talking about experiments and testing and where you can go to talk about your experiments, talk about your ideas, get your ideas out there. Because if you don't take action on any ideas that you want to pursue, then you're not going to get results. It's just going to just eat at your mind, and you're not going to be able to think about anything else because you're going to think about, well, what if? And instead of thinking about like, what if this doesn't work, you always need to be thinking about like, what if it does? So you really need to change your mindset, from the very beginning. And when you have something you want to talk about, go into Alphapreneur and talk about it, because we are all here for each other. Thank you, Jamie. I do appreciate it. So that is so testing. And also there's one other thing that I want to talk about too, is there's a lot of people that'll reach out to me in Alphapreneur asking about like what I think about the flow of their website or the flow of their funnel, or just about certain things and certain features on their site. And there's one place that I've been recommending to a lot of you that I figure I'm just going to recommend it on today's Monday meeting, because I know it's going to help a lot of you. And that is, if we go to usertesting.com, this is a place that I've been using a lot lately, especially with Alphapreneur, that I know that a lot of you can benefit from if you have a website or a product that you would like to get real feedback from real people on. And this is unbiased feedback. It's one thing if I have like my best friend go and take a look at something or go through a funnel and tell me what they think. But it's another thing if you have a complete stranger go through and get real-time feedback on anything it is that you want. So if you go to usertesting.com, you can see here, you can actually get product, you can get insight from just really anything that you want on your business itself. More specifically on your website, and even more specifically on your product, you can get answers to critical, product development questions about anything you might have. So, like Sue Doc Ross that's here right now, she just is launching an app right now for kids to help them with being more mindful, which I think is an incredible app, and big kudos to you for doing that. And everybody get like a round of applause for Sue, because that's an incredible thing to go after. And Sue, if you want some feedback from, for instance, moms that have kids, to maybe go through the app and then give you feedback on how things are laid out, and how the screens are laid out and how the onboarding process is laid out, usertesting.com would be an incredible resource for you to go through and actually get true insight, and even marketing insight. So you can get feedback on marketing campaigns and creatives and all that, from real people that will actually, give you real feedback, which is a really, really, really cool thing to do. So yeah, Sue says, love this Alpha Note user testing. Yeah, I'm going to type it in the comments here so you can all see it. So if you go to usertesting.com, that is that's the website. So I'm actually going to, before I forget, because I will forget this if I don't do this, I'm going to go into Monday meeting number 10, which is the meeting we're in right now. And I'm going to go to edit this Monday meeting. And we're going to say links. User testing. Oops. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put links in here just so that way you can easily take a look at this link. Oh, by the way, there's been a big update too in Alphapreneur. I don't know if any of you have noticed this or not, but if you go in, this is really cool. So completely kind of off the path on what we're talking about. But when you go into Alphapreneur and you go to make a new post or a new topic, here actually, I'm going to save changes here because I don't want to screw up this if anyone's on this page right now. But let's say you want to go to big wins, and then let's say in big wins you want to create a new topic. So what you would do is just click on new topic, big win example, and then what you can do. Notice this is brand new to Alphapreneur. I haven't even talked about this yet, so I'll talk about it on this meeting for all of you. So where it says type / for commands. So check this out. So if you type /, it's going to pop up all of these features now that you can do inside of Alphapreneur that you cannot do anywhere else. Like this is, again, big benefit from using Alphapreneur versus a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or anything like that, is you can do all types of formatting. So you can do H2 tags, H3 tags, you can do a bulleted list, numbered list, block quotes, dividers. You can mention someone, you can do different emojis. This is really cool. Here, let me come down. Sorry. I just realized where you couldn't see everything. So we're going to go type / again. So here we go. So these are all the different things you can do. So you can upload images, PDFs. If you upload or embed a PDF, the PDF will actually be embedded in the post where people can view the PDF and click through the pages and all that without having to download it. You can upload videos, you can do audios, you can do files, you can embed PDFs or embed videos like from YouTube, Wistia, Vimeo, Loom, Spotify. I mean, I'm not going to read them all, but you can get an idea. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and Airtable is a really cool feature. For those who've never used Airtable before, I recommend kind of play around with that, especially if you kind of follow my path of what I talk about with using using Google Sheets for a lot of things. Airtable is like Google Sheets on steroids. So you might want to play around with that. And if you ever create an Airtable, you can actually share that here as well. So yeah, huge new addition. Sue likes it. So yeah, I just want to make things a lot simpler for all of you inside of Alphapreneur whenever you are typing, instead of having this editor with all these buttons and everything, just to keep it super simple and clean. And then if you do want to, include like a YouTube link, you could just do / YouTube, and it'll immediately search and be like, okay, here's the different things you can do. You can upload a video, or you can embed a PDF or YouTube. Let's say you want to, and you can also, that's another thing, you could do, let's say, typing text here. So what you could do is you can highlight text, and then you have this kind of mini editor to where if you want to just like bold something or italicize it or, indent it or whatever, you can do all that. So really cool feature. And then you can also now add all kinds of GIFs. So we are actually powering Alphapreneur with Giphy. So you could actually, I use GIFs for everything. So you can actually type in things like The Office, and then you can see, all the different Office GIFs that you could put in here. So definitely make use of that if you want to have some fun in Alphapreneur. You can do that. And then emojis, as always, I love emojis, and you can, use every emoji under the sun that you would like to use in Alphapreneur. So anyway, that is, sorry, that was way off track, but that was a cool feature that was recently added with the editor and everything, and with GIFs and emojis and all that. I just wanted to share with everybody. Jamie says, never heard of Airtable before. Hey, that's the thing. Here, let's go to airtable.com. This is it. If you want to try it out, you can actually sign up for free and just play around with it. And yeah, it's basically one platform you can use for like all things that you would use, let's say for a spreadsheet, you can use on Airtable, and it's just, there's templates for everything. So you could click on templates and you can see, there's a lot just on the left here. Like if you want to do an Airtable for marketing, you can click on marketing and you can, do just tons and tons of different things. So definitely take a look at Airtable if you've never used it before. It's something I'm just now playing around with it. So I'm not endorsing it in the sense that I'm not switching everything over to it right now. It's an experiment, like we always talk about, like on today's meeting. The Airtable is just an experiment that I'm doing personally that I think would be fun just to share with all of you, because it's an experiment you could all try as well. So let me actually, now that I just mentioned Airtable, I want to go back, because again, I will totally forget to do this. I'm going to edit this topic, and for links, we're going to do airtable.com, or else I'd totally forget, and it's there now. And also that's another thing why I like to do links and stuff like that, and include as much typing and information as I can in my posts on Alphapreneur is, so for instance, like how we're talking, like see how it says agenda and it says scaling. I didn't have to really put all this in here, but you notice where I said scaling, how to quickly grow your business. Watch this. If I want to say quickly grow your business, if you went to search and just typed in quickly grow your business, there's that post right there already, number 10. And you can see all the other things people have said about quickly growing their business. So that's another just really cool feature with Alphapreneur is just the search functionality is just so fast, and it's really seamless in terms of what you can do. What's up, Hustle Legend? Thank you for making it here. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about. So far we talked about experiments and why you should definitely experiment with as many things as you can in your business, whether it be starting a new business or doing any type of marketing or testing or anything like that. You should not take your ideas and experiments and just write them down and forget about them. You should actually do them, because you don't know if they're going to work until you actually do them. And then again, as earlier I showed you, I shared all my experiments and really my whole journey of experiments since 1999, which is it's just a lot. So, and then we talked about testing. And so whenever you do have an experiment that you want to test out, you can either start testing it right away, or if it's something where you want to get like user feedback on, or feedback from other people like you that understand you and can kind of support you on what it is you want to test. Go into Alphapreneur, talk about what it is that you want to test, what type of experiment you have in mind, and you'll get feedback from all of us, myself included. And then the next thing I want to talk about is scaling. So with scaling, let's say you have an experiment that you want to try, and then you tested it, and you tested it by getting just feedback either from people that are already users of it, if it's something you're actively experimenting with right now, or if it's something new that you quite haven't built yet, but you've tested in terms of getting ideas and feedback from people. Then scaling is really how to quickly grow your business in a really interesting way that you can actually use to reach your goals. Liz says, so cool. Love this community and always learn something new. That is my plan, is every Monday that we have here on these Monday meetings, I like to try to share at least one or two really big takeaways that can, help a lot of you. So hopefully I've shared more than one or two that has really opened your mind to really new things, or maybe just empowered you or motivated you to try something new. So scaling, if you have an idea for a new experiment, and let's say it's a new business, right? And you want to test the waters and see what people think, and you go in Alphapreneur and you ask about it and ask what people think, and they say, oh, this sounds great, you should totally do this. Then the next thing you want to do is just put it out there in the world as an experiment, and then scale it to see if people will actually buy it or register for it or put in their information to get more information about it before you even build it. So what I'm about to show you, you can do in the sense of doing before you have an MVP, which is your minimum viable product. You could do this before you have anything, or if you've already got something and you just want to, see if it can really scale to the moon. Something you can do really quickly is what I'm about to show you. Let me take a look at the chat, because I saw like a little flurry of things came in really quick. Derek says, Are there times to stop buying shiny objects? I'm overwhelmed with tools I've not used. What should I do to stop the syndrome? Just stop buying things. Because what I'm sharing with you, you don't have to buy anything. All the stuff I'm sharing with you, you can, try for free. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, then, you didn't buy anything. So that's the really cool thing, is I like to try to share as many ideas and things that you can try for free. And if it works, great, because you shouldn't have to spend money on something unless it's making you money or making you feel better about your life. Because money's only really good for what you exchange it for. So, every time you pull out your credit card or your whatever it is that you use to pay for things, whenever you pull that out in your mind, whether you know it or not, you're always thinking like, what I'm about to spend my money on, is this going to be better than just keeping my money? Like, what I'm going to get in return, is it better than the money that I have right now that I'm not spending on anything? And if the answer is yes, then you made a good decision. If the answer is no, or you're not sure, then you probably shouldn't be buying what it is that you're excited about. So ultimately, that's the way that I look at money. And I think that that's a mindset that a lot of people should really consider as well. So with scaling, what I wanted to mention was, if you want to really kind of see the tool that gets me excited to quickly grow a business in a really interesting way to reach your goals, the tool that I used to recommend, and we talked about this briefly before in last Monday, is that to create it, or to use Kickoff Labs, which is a platform that you can use to create giveaway campaigns. So you basically can put up a page And you can see right here, start free. So you could try it for free to see if it works. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, well, you didn't spend any money on it. So Kickoff Labs, you can create a campaign and basically put up your idea of what it is that you're going to experiment with. So is it a new supplement? Is it a new app? Is it a new membership site? Is it a new ebook? Is it a new Kindle book? Whatever it might be, you could build a page on using something like Kickoff Labs and then getting and collecting email addresses and then going out there and just sharing in social media groups like Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups or communities or forums, or just on social media in general, on Twitter, get in hashtag conversations and all that, and drop your link all over the place and see if people sign up. Well, anyway, Kickoff Labs is what I used for years, but now there's a new platform that kind of came up, and they weren't doing good to compete with Kickoff Labs for a while, but then they've recently come out with some new features and completely updated their interface, where I think they just crushed Kickoff Labs in so many ways. So it's called Viral Loops, and it's viral-loops.com. And again, for those of you that are kind of worried about shiny objects and you don't want to spend money on something, you can try this for free as well. Again, I like to recommend everything that I like to recommend. I like to show you things that you can try for free, because there are other platforms out there that are more enterprise that you cannot try for free. And I'm not even going to talk about those because it probably for 99% of the people here, it's not going to make sense. So anyway, for Viral Loops, before I forget, let me go back to my Monday meeting post. This is the last time I'm going to do this because this was the last thing that I had to share. We're going to just put in the URL here. Sorry, folks, if you just bear with me. So Viral Loops. There we go. All right. So back to Viral Loops. So what you can do here is you can basically create a referral marketing campaign in layman's terms. If you have an idea for, let's say, a new app for children to help them with mindfulness, you could create a quick image for it, or a design or whatever, a logo, and then you can put it on a page with maybe a tagline or like a couple sentences about what it is. And then you could have people to put in their email address to get early access. They could put in their email address to get early access, but then you didn't even create the app yet. This could be an experiment, an example of testing your experiment. So you didn't even create the app. They could put in their email address, but then on the very next page, it's going to say, hey, you're on the waiting list. We'll let you know when it's live. In the meantime, if you want to refer some friends, maybe you have some friends that also have kids that would like to be more mindful. Here's a link, and if you share this link and refer some friends, you will get bumped to the front of the line. You will be like the first group of 100 people that can beta test this. Or you can offer other things. Like if you refer 5 friends, then you will actually get this app for free. Or if you refer 10 friends, then you will get this app for free. Plus you're going to get access to a private Facebook group for people that use this app. So you need to have like these awards that people can get if they just refer people to this page that you've created for a product that doesn't even exist yet, to see your testing, to see if it's going to make sense and actually get people to sign up before you put time into it. So what you can do here with Viral Loops, you can just go to, again, viral-loops.com, and you can kind of get an idea. I mean, this is not hard stuff, folks. You can actually launch literally a campaign in minutes, and in 2 clicks, you can have people to basically invite friends and sign up and all of that in 2 clicks, which is really, really cool. And then what's even more powerful is that they give you, you're welcome, Sue. I wanted to use your example specifically. Again, for all of you that are joining late, Sue has an app that she developed. It's in they're getting bugs worked out right now. It's actually helping kids be more mindful. So I would imagine it's an app parents would want to know about, because my gosh, if it really does work and it does something well and good, parents like spread words like wildfire, especially when you come across things like that. So most of the apps that our kids, I have 2 daughters, most of the apps they have on their iPads are all apps that have been referred to from us by other parents and all that. So anyway, a little off topic there, but you can come here and get an idea of the different types of platforms that you can use. So you can do milestone referrals, which this is the one that I recommend for what we're talking about now. The milestone, if we just click on learn more here, it'll take you to where you can get an idea of like what is a milestone referral program. So you can come down here and then see, let's see if it actually shows you an example. Yeah, so you can actually have a page where they can put in their name and email address and then get early access. But then on the next page, it's going to say invite your friends. You can win prizes for every milestone that you reach. You can you can share on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. or you can just grab the link. And then it does fraud detection, has all kinds of really cool stuff. Let's actually go up here. Sorry, I'm scrolling up and down really fast because I'm trying to find. Here we go. So you can actually customize a page where it's like, if you refer 15 friends, you can get this. If you refer 30 friends, you get this. You can set these milestones for whatever you want. I like to recommend setting milestones for things like this, like super low. So if you refer 5 friends, you're going to get this thing that I'm creating right now. You're going to get it for free if you just refer 5 people. The reason you do that, you might be thinking, well, I want to actually make money with this. I don't want to give this away. But if you've got people referring people, you're going to get so many more customers than you would have if you didn't have that. You get this for free if you refer 5 people, and 5 people is something that they can all feel. You can even make it 3 if you want, because everybody has like 3 friends they know. So you make it so low where they're going to want to share it on social media. And then you can also then have higher prices, like I said, or higher prizes. So if they, refer 10 or 15 people, then they get the free thing, but they also get the, access to a Facebook group. If they refer 100 people, you could say you get the free thing, you get access to a Facebook group, and you get a $100 Amazon gift card that I will send you digitally through Amazon. And then if someone referred 100 people to you, you better believe that's worth way more than just $100, especially if you've got a good product and something people are actually going to pay for. Hustle Legend says your info is so valuable. The problem for me is brain overload. Hey, buddy, that's okay. Having information overload on what I'm sharing with you is perfectly normal. Just about everybody here probably gets that. If you all have, just say overload in the chat so Hustle Legend's not alone. But that is what Alphapreneur is all about. All of this stuff is in Alphapreneur that's searchable and indexable, so you can actually come and come back to this whenever you want. I just like to give you all of these ideas and experiments on things that you can do to start a business and grow a business. I'm just giving it all to you right now and then putting it all inside of Alphapreneur so you can come to it whenever you need it. So hopefully that helps you a little bit better. And so that's Viral Loops. And if you want to see behind the scenes, so I actually have an account myself that I just created not too long ago because they had a Black Friday promotion. I don't know if they have a Cyber Monday promotion right now. They might. So you could probably find that out if you just type in Viral Loop Cyber Monday. But here you can actually see how simple it is. So you log in. You can see I'm logged into my account right now. And then you can select a template. So you can have a newsletter referral. You can have a milestone referral. This newsletter referral, this is actually my big reason why I switched over to Viral Loops, because this is something new that nobody else has. And I'm about to introduce a weekly digest newsletter for Alphapreneur, which I ran a survey for all of you that have participated and casted your vote to say if you want a daily digest or a weekly digest. To let you know, about 80% of you with several hundred votes went with weekly digest. So I'm about to release a weekly digest, and now I can actually have a referral system in place. So you could take those weekly emails that I send out and share them with people. And then if you do, you can actually get all kinds of free stuff. So that's a newsletter referral. So you can see there's a lot of different referral systems that you can use. Let's say the milestone, like I just talked about. If you like it, you could just select this template for milestone referral. And then if you want, there's a video. They even have a video tutorial that's going to show you how to use it. But it's going to show you how it works. So again, this is super, super simple. So you can actually, you can see people can refer friends. If they reach a milestone, they get a reward. Does not get any easier than that. So if you want to just jump right into it, you can select the template. Or if you want to see a demo campaign, you can say see demo campaign, and it's going to show you this is what a demo campaign looks like. So it's basically, which by the way, what you're seeing right here, if you're wondering, well, why is there this woolly mammoth that says shaving is evolving? There's a company called Harry's that is a razor company that's actually in like stores everywhere now. You've probably seen it. If you haven't, you probably will, because they're growing exponentially. But they started their whole business by showing what I'm showing you right now. They actually started their whole business before they even had a product. They had this new razor that they created that's basically just a cheaper version of a Gillette razor. And they got 100,000 people on their email list that want this razor within 7 days, their first 7 days of like throwing their experiment and their idea out in the wild to see if anyone wanted it. And over 100,000 people in 7 days, they built a waiting list from by using this exact campaign, and the look and everything that you see here is exactly what put them on the map. So with Viral Loops, you can actually copy that. So you can come down and you can actually start with their campaign. So you can see rewards if you have friends that join. You can set 5 rewards, 10 or 5 friends, 10 friends, 25 friends. You get all these different things. So anyway, you can play around with that to see what the demo campaign is. But just to show you how simple it is, you could say select template, and then here I'm going to pull this in. You can't see it because it's off the screen, but give me 1 second. There we go. So if you look at the very bottom, you can see it actually walks you through all the steps. So first, we're going to start off with some info for the campaign. Then you go through milestones, and you can the widgets, which is like where you can embed the widgets. If you already have pages on your website you want to use, you can do that. And you can set up notifications, and pretty much in like, I would say less than 10 minutes, you can actually have a whole campaign live. And you can take your new idea that you had for a business and throw it out there in the market and see if people want it. And if people are putting in their email address, and not only that, but if people are putting in their email address and they're sharing it with people, then this is definitely going to be something that is could be a really big win for you. So that is Viral Loops. Now, if you're wondering, well, that all sounds great, Chris, but I have this idea for an experiment that I want to try, and I want to test the market.
The milestone referral template.
Sorry about that. I want to test the market, but I don't have a logo, or I don't have a design, or I don't have whatever you don't have. You don't have the images to put on your site because your thing is not live. And maybe you're not a designer and you're just like, Chris, I can't do this because I don't even know what the design would look like. Well, let me show you a quick trick to that too. And I lied. There is one more thing I want to add to Alphapreneur because I'm going to show it to you right now. And I've talked about this many, many times before, and it is called Placeit, which you can actually go to placeit.net. So let me go into, this is, I promise, the last thing I'm going to be adding to the Monday meeting topic. So sorry, I just keep adding a lot of things for you all to be able to go to sometime. So there we go. All right, so placeit.net. You can go here. If let's say you have an idea for, here, let's take a look here. Let's see what kind of designs they got. Let's say you have an idea for, I don't know, some new activewear that you could probably get drop shipped from Alibaba, and you want to build an activewear company, but you don't have models yet. You don't have people to actually, you don't have the activewear. So you don't have any product in hand. You don't have models to wear it. You don't want to pay for any of that stuff. But maybe you want to start a new activewear company and see if people would be interested. So you could actually go to placeit.net and go to activewear. And then you're going to see here, you could actually, where it says upload your image, you can choose any of these images and choose any of these images and upload an image that you could design in like Canva. And then you could, overnight, like have this page where it's like, hey, this new, activewear, Sue's Activewear or Sue Active or whatever you want to call it is, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. You could actually start that, right now, and then have an image put together with your logo and whatnot on it. And you can move your mouse over any of these images and kind of see what it's like. I mean, you could design, yoga pants that would be, specific to have specific designs for whatever, and then put up a page using Viral Loops, and then see if anyone would put in their email address because they want this. And then would they invite friends to get, more of your activewear, so you could start all this overnight without even needing to, create anything. And then if you don't get enough signups, or maybe you only got 10 people to sign up, well, that's fine. You just email them all and say, hey, thank you for your interest. Had this really big idea for this activewear company, as because you put in your email address. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, this business is not going to be able to take off. So I do want to thank you for your time, something like that. So anyway, you can see there are 65 pages of activewear models that you could have right now by just slapping a logo, and you could start an apparel company like overnight. You could see, and you can go here and take a look for mock-ups. You could do, if you want to start an iPhone case company, maybe you've heard a lot of stories about iPhone cases, or you think it would be fun to like have a business where all you had were like these custom iPhone cases. Well, let's say you haven't created that yet. That's fine. You could, create a page on Viral Loops and then create some images here using Placeit with your iPhone cases where it looks like they're actually being used, and then start running, put it on Facebook, and then start, putting it in Facebook groups or mom groups if there may be iPhone cases with sayings for moms, or even let's say, Sue, if you wanted to, and I keep saying Sue because you're top of mind because you shared your business with us earlier, but let's say you have an app for kids that is going to be more mindful. Maybe you want to create some iPhone cases that go along with that app, and anyway, you could build a list like that. So anyway, that is Jamie, it's amazing how it puts the image on there even when you're not facing forward. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So that is, hang on. Derek says, if we see what's working out there, it sounds like we can copy and repurpose it to fit our own needs. Yeah. This is called swiping, by the way, what you're referring to. And by the way, I never recommend copying anything like copying, but you should look at what's working out there and use it as inspiration, for something that you could do that's maybe better than what's already working out there. Okay. So that is, scaling. So hopefully you enjoyed all of that. So if you can just let me know, for all of you that are still here, on a 1 to 10 scale of the quality of the content that was shared on today's Monday meeting, if you could give me a 1 if it was horrible and a 10 if it was great, let me know in the chat. I'm going to take a quick water break, and then we're going to jump right into live Q&A. So if you have any questions after you give me the 1 to 10 rating, you can post your question in. I will answer as many questions as we have, and then we'll move on from there. All right, so let me take a look at the chat. Thank you for all that, taking the time to vote. So we got Margaret gave me a 10. We have Jamie 10, Luke 10 as per, Glenn 10, Magnus 10, Sid 10 as usual, Gary another big 10. Thank you so much. Frank says, you're the man, great info and ideas as always. You're our true grand ambassador 10. Thank you so much. Sue says, love your ideas 10. Mohammed 10 plus, you're amazing. By the way, Mohammed, are you new? I don't recognize your name or your image, which is, your image is just an M, but I don't recognize you in here. So if you're new here, Mohammed, just let us know so we all know that you are new, so we can give you a warm welcome to our Monday meetings. Hustle Legend 10, thank you all for, looks like we have a lot of new folks in here. So by the way, if you are listening and you are new, just say new in the chat, just so we all know who's new, so we can go ahead and just give you all a warm welcome to the Monday meetings. 10 says 10 plus. Hope you guys and gals have a great week. Have to jump off to support a bestseller client on our first mentoring program. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, Liz. I do appreciate it. And great. So if there is any questions, I know there were some questions that were floating around in a little bit earlier. So go ahead and just, if you posted a question earlier, just repost it if I did not ask the question or answer the question, because I wasn't answering questions when we were, actually going through the agenda. Okay, so let me take a look here at Sue. Sue says, last we met, you were going to do a video tutorial on creating campaign and viral loops. Any update on that yet? Yes, I have not done that yet because I have not had time to create it, because the Thanksgiving actually took me more away from work than I was hoping. So I am creating a viral loops campaign this week for Alphapreneur. And once I do create it, I'm going to do a video and put that in Alphapreneur. And just so you know where that will be, if you go, sorry, let me switch over to my browser. When you go into Alphapreneur, there is going to be a new section that is going to be in the dashboard. So I've added, in the last couple of weeks, I've added sections that have never been talked about or mentioned about in Alphapreneur or around Alphapreneur before. I just surprised you with a new section. So there were trends, which was a new section that I added, where every Tuesday we're doing trend reports that we're publishing. Swipes is where I'm uploading my own swipes. I think I uploaded over like 460 or 420. I think it's 429 swipes of like old advertorial type sales pages that I've collected over like 20 years. And those are in the swipe section, and you're all welcome to share swipes as well. Then there's also going to be a new section that I'm adding this week just called tutorials. And tutorials is going to be where it's going to be like short 7 to 10 minute videos that's going to give you a very quick like win on something specific that you want to do. So for tutorials, the very first one is going to be a tutorial on how to set up viral sharing campaigns using viral loops. So that is going in here this week, Sue. That is definitely going to be going in there, and it's going to be in a new section where I can just start creating a bunch of new tutorials and just putting them in Alphapreneur without you knowing about it. So I'll be able to tell you every Monday what kind of new tutorials have been added, and new tutorials are going to be added based off of things that I'm actually doing for Alphapreneur to grow Alphapreneur and the brand ambassador program and all that for all of you. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much, Mohammed, for being able to make it in. I do appreciate it. Emmanuel says Austria in the house. Thank you for making it here, Emmanuel. Hopefully you got to see the whole Monday meeting and you enjoyed it. Sue's going to cut me some slack for the holidays. I'll make up for it this week. I promise. Margaret says, oh, you've gone very blurry. Don't know why I've gone very blurry. Hang on a second. Okay. If I'm still blurry, let me know when I went full screen, because I shouldn't be. Okay. Gary says, are there any creatives that I can use for promoting Alphapreneur, like the brand ambassador image, which is awesome? Let me know, Gary, what you had in mind for promoting. Like, what is it specifically that you want to promote? And then I can direct you to a more specific answer because there's a lot of different things I can recommend, but I just want to make sure that I give you a very specific answer for a very specific question that you have. Sue says, would you like us, members of Alpha, to also do tutorials and submit them to you? If you would like, yeah, I mean, by all means, if there's something that you want to teach, reach out to me. Just send me a message in Alphapreneur, and I will just let you know the format that I'm going to be doing. It's really simple, by the way. And then, yeah, if you want to record something, and then I'll put it in Alphapreneur in the tutorial section, because it would be incredible if there's a lot of you that do have tutorials you would like to share and things you would like to create, and you feel comfortable creating a tutorial. I would love to put tutorials of things that you're really good at in Alphapreneur in the tutorial section. So absolutely, that would be a great idea, Sue. Gary says Facebook ads. So Gary, are you referring to are you referring to promoting Alphapreneur itself or promoting the new brand ambassador program? Let me know the answer to that, and then I can give you a more specific answer. Derek says, I'm still in the developing 40 days without processed food system, which, by the way, I think we all should go through that. Would you recommend this as a course or a membership or something else? I have a lot of content now. What I would recommend, Derek, is I would recommend starting that off is like a challenge. So maybe doing like 5 or 7 days without processed food, and then doing it as a challenge and doing it on Facebook. And then at the end of the challenge, once people have completed it and they're talking about how much better they're feeling, they have more energy and all this stuff, then you can talk about the 40-day program that you have. And then you can, I would recommend offering that is a course that comes with a community. So I don't recommend it as a membership out of the gate, because 40 days has a very specific start date and end date. So I would recommend doing like a smaller challenge style, just getting it out there and then getting people in the challenge. And then at the end of the challenge, once they feel good, because that's really how challenges, the challenges that are really successful, they're successful because they're designed to give you a very specific quick win at the end of the challenge. And when you feel like you've had that quick win, you want more. And then you will buy a course or whatever it is that the person running the challenge has to offer you. So for you would have a really good success rate by doing something like that. Yeah, sorry about that, Margaret, that it is that I'm still blurry, but it looks like everybody else says it's okay. Gary says brand ambassador. All right, Gary. So what I will do for you is I don't have any images for you right now on Facebook, but I can create some because it would be very easy to create. Because right now I'm doing a lot of stuff for the brand ambassador program on Google and not on Facebook. So I don't have any assets to give you yet, but I will create something and then send out an email to everybody where you will be on that if you get my emails, where I'll have like a little kit of images and files you can use to share on Facebook if you would like. Derek says, is 40 days without processed food niche focus, and what do you recommend I start with content? Well, if you said you already have a bunch of content, it sounds like you're already good to go. So as far as like a niche and all that, there is no really specific niche. It's just weight loss or general well-being and wellness, right? So I would look, I don't know too much about that industry. So I would first look and see if there's any competitors. And then if you can find competitors that have done other similar challenges or other similar books or anything like that, try to dissect their marketing and find out what they did. And then think about how can you do something a little bit better than what they're doing. Sue says, can you show us how to do research if the 40 days without processed food is trending? So again, not on the fly, because there's nothing that I can think of, right? Like just off the, and just on the fly, because I don't know anything about that industry. So, but what I would do is go, I would start by maybe going to Facebook groups and then see if there's any type of Facebook groups around something about processed food. And if there are, join the groups and see what people are talking about. I'm just looking real quick. Hang on. Okay, looks like there are a decent amount of groups. This is where I don't know anything. You guys would probably know more about this than I would, especially if you're in this industry already, Derek, and you've created a bunch of content. So I would go to Facebook and then go to the group section by just clicking on the little groups icon, type in processed food, and then just see what type of groups are available. It looks like there's not a lot of groups specific about it, but when you go and you can actually see group posts that people have made, you can see there are posts like 1,200 calories, eat healthy and clean. So it looks like there's healthy and clean eating type groups that you could join. I would get in those groups, and then once you get approved in these groups, I would post a question and say, hey, does anyone know of any challenges or anything going on where I could do a 14 or 30-day challenge? I wouldn't say 40 specifically. I would say, does anyone know of any challenges going on that I can follow, or protocols that I could follow that I could do and get help and support with about eating clean and not eating processed food? And just something, again, that's just me talking without knowing anything about that industry. I would do something like that. So I would get into a lot of these groups that people are, where it sounds like it would be more of the clean eating and like detoxification type groups you would want to get into, and then ask those questions in that, because it doesn't look like there were any groups specific about processed food, eating without processed foods. So it'd be more of the clean eating type things that I'd recommend. Gary says, great. You are very welcome. Awesome. So that is, that looks like that was all the questions that came in. So that is Monday meeting number 10. I can't wait to see how this turns out, because again, I'm streaming at a little higher quality. So I'm curious if the higher quality sticks when we're all done. I'm glad there wasn't a break in audio or anything like that. And then it looks like my video was clear for most of you. A couple of you had a few issues. But it could have been because you're just watching in a really high quality setting on your computer that maybe your internet wasn't prepared for. And Frank says, have you finished your brand ambassador sales funnel strategy to promote a brand course? I'm not sure what step that is, but if it's not in there, then not yet. But every Friday I release, minus last Friday because it was a holiday, but every Friday I'm releasing new steps in the brand ambassador training program inside of Alphapreneur. Thank you so much, Sue, for saying awesome meeting today. Glenn says, thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, this week, I'm just working a lot on, I'm going to be introducing the new section. There's going to be more tutorials, which are just very short, quick, punchy, how to get results very quickly on specific thing type tutorials inside of Alphapreneur that you can all follow. I'm putting those in there this week. The first one's going to be about social sharing contests and going viral. And then I'm also doing a new step is going live for the brand ambassador training program on Friday. And yeah, just doing a lot of stuff. So that's what I'm up to. Thank you again, all for being here. Gary says, thanks for another inspiring day. You're very welcome. Wonderful as always. Magnus says, thank you all for your support and thank you for taking the time to be here. And I will see you all next Monday. So have a very fun and productive week. Get out there and try some new experiments. Try doing some testing on some new experiments. Be active in Alphapreneur. Ask questions and get feedback and comments and support about what experiments and things you want to test. Talk about that in Alphapreneur, because myself and others will help you. And then just get out there and have fun and just start building your businesses and enjoying life. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll talk to you next week.